Ahmed, Kathrada and Sophie and Henry de Bruyn Foundations will today be hosting a Women's Day event at the Avalon and Newclare cemeteries. The event will be looking at the legacies of women freedom fighters, specifically on the 56,000 women who marched to the Union buildings on August 9th, 1956. We take you then now to live proceedings that are currently underway.
And we made it our responsibility to make sure that this year we come with younger women. We are already older. We may be young, but we are already older. So this morning I want to declare, Uncle Sean, that we have met our target of bringing more women. We have Usthembiso Dabula, who is the Deputy President of the WITS SRC 2020-2021. We'll be joined by Unobuhle, who's the chairperson of SASCO at the UJ APK campus. We'll also be joined by the President Lerato Ndlovu of the UP SRC, who is the first woman or first black woman to lead the SRC at the University of Pretoria. This is part and parcel of passing on the baton. Mam Faith Mazibogotala nasipa tsina baton. Nasipa in 2015 nati minan ganzetu kubeganga lento. I don't think the generational gap that we want to break needs to be as far as me and you. It must be shorter. That is why Comrade Loyiso Masugu will bring us as young women into spaces where we can equally contribute to the development of our country. That is why I, as Nompendulo, Fasia Hassan and Shara Kala, must then reach out to those that are younger than us, so that this gap the magnitude of these gaps is made smaller. Mam Sophie Dala Nani Nasipa le baton. You gave us the baton long ago. It only makes sense that we also pass it on to the generations that come after us. So I want to state that we have done that as part and parcel of ensuring that the legacies that these women that we celebrate today on the journey that we're about to go on live long. To make sure that the struggles that they began and were unable to complete, because patriarchy continues to thrive in our society regardless of the strides that we have made, us as a collective of women across various generations must ensure that the work that Mam Helen Joseph or Lillian Ngoyi or Albertina Sisulu or Winnie Mandela have started does not disappear and fizzle into thin air. At some point, the efforts of their work must bear fruit. And they have. Look at the composition of young women or women in structures of public office like parliament, like provincial legislature, like city council. We are there as women. We want to be more. We want to be more in the executive equally. As young women, we want to be there. So the work that needs to be done is still a lot. But we also must acknowledge the great role that women have played in the current pandemic that we've had, which is COVID-19. Our nurses, our doctors, all our healthcare workers have played a huge role in ensuring that we are able to overcome this pandemic. We must also acknowledge that in the recent unrest, women played a huge role in ensuring that they try their best to protect their communities. And rest assured, it is women who will play a massive role in rebuilding our country post the recent unrest that we've had. So we can never take for granted the role and contributions that women make to the development and growth of our country. I'm just here to welcome you all on behalf of the board. Let us all take this moment to reflect on the great work that these women who will be honoring today have done, but also take this moment to ask ourselves what we are doing to make sure that we defend our democracy, that they fought for so hard, that some of them died for. What are we doing to make sure we protect our constitution? What are we doing to make sure that this beautiful constitution that we have, that is lauded across the globe, finds expression in the daily lived realities of ordinary South Africans? So those are the questions we need to ask ourselves today. How far are we from achieving a truly non-racial South Africa that Utatu Ahmed Kathrada so dearly yearned for? How far are we from achieving those things? So those are some of the questions we need to ponder on today. But also when we are done pondering and thinking and reflecting and introspecting, we must commit in the different ways of which we exist in society, to implementing plans that will make sure that these introspections and reflections that we are going to make today find expression in a more tangible manner. So that's about it from our side as the board. We're really grateful that you're here. We've been working on also collecting the names of women who were part and parcel of the 1956 march. We've made some ground when it comes to that, but we would truly appreciate it if those who have access to this knowledge that we are looking for, the names that we are looking for, if they can assist us in this, to continue looking for all the unsung heroes of the 1956 march by the women of South Africa. So I think that's about it from my side. I don't know who the program director is. Uncle Jean, I think I can start. Okay. Amandla. Awethu. Malibongwe. Igama lamakhosikazi. Thank you.
I would like to welcome Delani Majolo, who will speak more about the list of names of women that we have been collecting.
Good morning, everyone. So I think that wherever Uncle Kathy is today, he would be extremely proud of the work that we are doing at his foundation, because Uncle Kathy was deeply concerned about promoting and preserving South Africa's liberation history. He also took the time out whenever he could to share stories about all of those who were part of the struggle, as well as the comrades who were at the forefront, some of them whose names we are aware of and others that we don't. I think as far as he could, he would visit cemeteries, he would share stories just so to jog memory. And one of the things that he did was he joined us in one of the Trails of Fortitude that the foundation hosted. And as we mark what would have been his 92nd birthday this month, we are once again just highlighting the campaign that the foundation started in his honor. And this campaign has been a call to help us identify some of the women who were part of the 1956 Women's March. And we are all aware that this historic event had over 20,000 women who volunteered their time, who sacrificed immensely to be out on the streets and took up to the union buildings, but it is only a few whose names that we are aware of. So this call essentially is just appealing to members of the public to help us acknowledge these women, to help us record some of these names. And I must say that in the work that we have done, there has been some headway. However, there's still a lot more to be done. We're not nearly as close as to where we would like to be, but we have made a significant contribution by beginning the work itself. So we are appealing to members of the public, or really anyone who might have any knowledge, who might know of somebody, who might have heard of a story that needs to be recorded, because our history is very important. I think Uncle Kathy was really strong about just promoting South Africa's liberation history and ensuring that we don't just dwell on specific individuals, but honor all of those who contributed as comrades. So there is a list that we will be sharing, and in this list is names that we have gathered from various sources, but some of them I'm glad to announce that members of the public have answered the call to submit these names and share these powerful stories and anecdotes, stories that I myself had not heard of before. So we would like to extend this list, make it as extensive as possible, and where the resources are available, we'd like for some of those individuals and institutions to help us verify these names and continue that sort of research, because currently and sadly it does not exist. We stand here today next to the grey sides of these powerful women, but some of their counterparts who were there with them on August 9 are not heard of. The names are not being told. So we are appealing to members of the public and institutions as well to help us to make this list extensive, and once again, where possible, help us to verify and just continue the work. I think Uncle Kathy, like I said, would be extremely proud in ensuring that the legacies are taken forward so that we understand our history and that we are able to then protect our democracy today. Because as he would often say, that our freedom did not fall from the sky, it was fought for. And it was fought for by a number of individuals. And some of them are not here today to tell their stories. So let us take those stories forward on their behalf. So if anyone has any information to help us enrich our history, you can contact the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation. You can send an email to info@kathradafoundation.org. So that's right here at the bottom, info@kathradafoundation.org. Or you can give us a call, and we would be glad to take this work forward. Thank you.